Hey, what's up guys? Today we're going to be learning about pedigrees using one of my favorite TV shows ever, Jane the Virgin. If you have not seen it, I highly suggest that you watch it because it is a really good show. Alright, pedigrees. So as you can see over here on my iPad, I have circles, squares, and a bunch of lines connecting everywhere. So this is a pedigree. The circles that I'm going to be filling them in as we talk. The circles are going to be the females, the squares are going to be the males. The ones that I'm filling in are going to be affected by the trait we're going to be talking about today. And the trait we're talking about is whether or not a character is religious. So a big R is going to represent if the character is religious. That's going to be the dominant trait, and then the recessive, that's going to mean they're not religious. So just to go over that again, big R means religious, little r means not religious. And then we're going to talk about their genotypes. Alba, she is one of the most religious people on this TV show, so it makes sense to start with her. So she's going to have 2 big R's, and she's going to be dominant, and she is affected by this trait, so therefore she is filled in, and so on. Mateo, he was also a very religious man, and he had the genotype big R, little r. And they went together and they had a beautiful baby, Xiomara. So this is going to be her genotype. Let's head over to Rogelio's family. Let's start with Liliana. Liliana was also a religious woman, and so was Manuel. And they had a son, Rogelio de la Vega, as he would say. And then we have Jane. Beautiful production of Rogelio and Xiomara, and this is going to be her genotype. But here's where it gets a little trickier, but that's just because Raphael is not affected by this trait. So he's going to have a double recessive genotype. So he has 2 little r's, and Jane has 1 big R and a little r. And they had a son, Mateo, who is religious. So his genotype is this, a big R and a little r. And then we have Michael over here, who was Jane's husband for a little while, but then he died, but then he kind of came back to life. But for the sake of this assignment, we're going to say that he's dead, which is what the lines represent on here. So he's going to have 2 little r's, and so are all these other people who are on this side. They're all going to have little r's. And we don't really know much about Petra's dad over here because he wasn't really talked about much in the show, but if he were to marry Magda, I'm sure that he probably could have used some Jesus in his life, and that he did not have it at the time. So we're going to go with the fact that he is not religious. So the pattern that you see here of inheritance is what we like to call autosomal dominant. There are other ways of inheritance, but this is the one that is effective and present on this pedigree. And I hope that you learned something, and I hope that you are now interested in to watch Jane the Virgin.